Good late evening to you. I'm Mia Grady. Now to our other big story. Lawsuits continue to mount against Texans star quarterback Deshaun Watson, alleging sexual misconduct. There are now 12 women suing him, and the women's attorney says more lawsuits are to come. Matt Doherty is bringing us the latest on this developing story. Matt?
Today, the lawyers told us what the accusers say happened during those massage therapy appointments with the quarterback. What you're about to hear is graphic, and it is disturbing.
Why would he reach out to individuals on Instagram?
This is how plaintiff's attorney Tony Buzbee says Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson solicited massages from some of the women. Other massages, he says, were arranged through Texans coaching staff.
Our thought was when we filed the first case, if it happened once, it's probably happened more than once.
Buzbee says at least 22 women say they experienced the sexually inappropriate behavior or sexual assault by Deshaun Watson during massages. The lawyer says most of the women were licensed massage therapists. Others were not. He says once the sessions began, a similar course of events would unfold, and the massages would quickly become something else.
Watson got completely naked. He got an erection, and he asked her what she was going to do about that erection.
The alleged victim from this incident says she ended the session short and left. Her lawyers claim Watson tried to get her to massage his private parts, told her to take off her clothes, and tried to kiss her. In a separate incident from a different accuser, lawyers say Watson took things further,
forcing her to perform oral sex on him. Plaintiff did not consent to any of this conduct. She blacked out with fear. She was terrified.
Deshaun Watson has denied all of the allegations, and he has not been charged with a crime. Houston police say no reports have been filed related to the allegations. Today, Watson's lawyer, Rusty Harden, emailed us this statement, which reads, quote, "I'm extremely proud to represent Deshaun Watson and wholly stand behind him against what we believe are meritless allegations. However, we will wait to comment in detail until we have completed our review of the numerous evolving allegations from Mr. Buzbee."
The NFL says it's investigating whether Watson may have violated the league's code of conduct. I spoke with the attorney's office earlier today. They're telling us that they will speak publicly about this case sometime next week. Of course, we're going to continue to follow that and bring you the latest updates as we get them. Back to you.